Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim and this is World of Darkness, Howls of the Deathsinger, Werewolf, Outlast Edition 2022/6, fed by Egg Revamp.
You're never going to stop doing that, are you?
Absolutely not.
A wonderful name.
Now.
Didn't you come up with it?
Yeah. And we're going to turn it over now to Lars for the recap.
Oh no. Well, we called the Holy Hunt, the Siskorda, and then we kind of worked on a plan of action, decided to take the cautious approach, and we took Michael's, what's the card again? I can't remember.
SUV.
SUV, yeah. We took that and decided to keep most of our crew on the back for a bit while Michael went ahead and scouted the place around, and well, as I remember, Michael ran into a very, very weird, like, puppet master sort of young man who had killed like most of the guards in place, and we kind of confided with him and worked out some details, and now we also like summoned a spirit to help us, and we don't really trust the spirit, but we're supposed to work on breaking these seals to release it upon our enemies, so no, we're working on doing that.
Just to clarify for you, Lars, and to make sure everyone knows, the thing isn't actually trapped inside of the seals. It's stuck outside and wants to get into its lair. It got kicked out of its house, basically, and it wants back in.
Guys, I left the keys up.
Guys, we're in trouble.
Well, but that.
The note he included was, "Praise the dragon of old." Thank you so much for that donation, Toshime. The goal has been completed.
I'm glad you got a kick out of the donation message.
I'm not a fan of this laughter that's coming out of her right now. There it is.
Don't worry, everything will be fine. Everything is not fine.
I need to add a card.
Appropriate. Very appropriate.
I'm glad you guys like those cards. I'm really glad that you guys use those cards. Cause
Lars and Sangata wasn't expecting that.
I worked hard setting those up, and I'm happy you guys use them.
So
Speaking of, if
plan number 6 now.
So, speaking of, if anybody else would like to pick up some cards, you can use our Streamloots link right here. And they've got all sorts of ways you can influence the games. And I am always open to suggestions of more. Also, one more thing before we get really started here. we are doing Stream Raiders Dungeons today, so remember that is the rapid fire mode. So please go place your troops and help us get deep into the dungeon. Or I guess right now it's Jack in the Box dungeon restaurant diving or something. I don't really get it. Either way.
Isn't it Marbles on Stream now?
The Dungeons mode is some kind of sponsorship from Jack in the Box.
Oh, so it's still that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Marbles thing is something else. That's the new event for the normal mode. Which I don't understand why they've got things like that, you know.
Sponsor.
But,
I don't
well, no,
remember
the
this being
sponsor,
here
that's
before.
okay. It's what it is, but...
Oh, Marten Kun! Marten Kun!
Okay. That's what that does.
No!
For the record, I did realize that the chances of getting legendaries and epic cards was way lower than I expected. So I have literally increased the chance to get legendaries by 1,000%. Still a low chance to get them, but much better than it was before. As far as the avatars and Marten's pack, it's basically even chance for you to get common and rare in that pack.
Вот, короче, Бадди остался один в комнате.
Because it's just, you know,
Кое-что наделал.
the way I wanted it set up is basically the rares are
Бадди чуть-чуть
pretty much the
поиграл.
same as commons. It's just separated, so you know, this one is Avatar, this one is Marten and such.
Бадди, ты чё?
But yeah. Enough stream business stuff. Let's get started with the game.
Извините, забыл.
And so, we welcome back our intrepid werewolves and friends
Наташа.
once more into the breach. When we last left our intrepid heroes, as they said, they were at the Empty Spring Sanitarium. An abandoned sanatorium that is now being used for a dark ritual to attempt to summon a spirit into our world. One which would be very, very bad if it came in this way. And that's what they're here to stop. They have infiltrated the site and are currently in the dormitories, the old dormitories, where they have made a new ally. A puppeteer, as they have learned, and have made a deal with one of the local ghosts in the treatment hall where the ritual is going to be performed. A group of 5 seals have been placed to keep this spirit and all of his associates out, to keep them from disrupting it and attacking those performing the ritual. And our heroes have now decided to attempt to destroy those seals in order to let the ghost, well, it's not going to be pleasant. If any of you have ever seen House on Haunted Hill, yeah, you're looking at a scenario like that. And that's where we left off, though. The plan has been made, and now all that is left for you guys is to figure out how exactly you're going to attempt to do it. Who's going to go where? Who's going to do what?
I'm gonna kill things.
I mean, that's pretty much, I thought that was implied. There are
That's the
4...
plan.
You know of the location of 4 of the seals. Across 4 different floors. There's one on the ground floor, one on the 3rd, one on the 4th, and one on the 6th. The ritual is being held on the 7th floor. You do not know where the final seal is, though. As your new friend has said, he does not have eyes on it. But he does have eyes on many of the patrols and on 4 of the 5 seals. He has also volunteered to either offer to give you guys information and guidance to get there, or he can come along and attempt to help you in battle if you wish for that. He's fine with it either way. You guys showing up has basically made his job a lot easier. Now it's just a matter of, what are you guys thinking? How do you guys wish to go about to make it over to the treatment hall? There is an actual passageway there that you can take. Each building is connected to each other. So you can just take the hallway to get there safely. There might be guards, but nothing that you guys shouldn't be able to deal with pretty easily. Or you could try to sneak in through the outside. Do you want to go all together, or do you guys want to split up?
We should
As
probably
many-
split up because I don't do stealth.
Your puppeteer friend speaks up. I can help guide you if that's what you want. I don't mind that at all. Even for you, even if stealth's not your thing, I can probably help you avoid any of the trolls. But if I'm over here, it's going to be really difficult for me to actually try to fight. I'm just going to be too far away.
Are you not on fantasy grounds yet?
Yeah, it's a,
Yeah, fantasy.
Could be.
What are you guys thinking?
I'm thinking I would like to try a stealthy approach.
yeah, we need to get these marks. And at least I need to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you think is best.
Yeah, why don't we have Barney go with the nice puppet master guy?
I'm trying to find my notes real quick. I believe his name was Max, if I remember. I'm trying to find my notes for last session. I have so much stuff up here for different games. I'm trying to find it.
I can't remember honestly, but I'll take your word for it.
I don't remember either, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't Max. Actually, I know
Find
it
my
wasn't
notes.
Max.
I'm not even sure that if we actually got his name.
He did give us a
He did
name,
give the name.
but
Trying to find it now. Where are my notes for this?
I also know that we couldn't remember the knight's name, but you decided to call him Jason this time.
Yep.
Oh, Jason, tell me what you're chasing.
As many
Jason.
Friday the 13th jokes were made about that.
Because the night will never give you what you want. There, I've sung. Happy now.
He's gonna look over at Moriarty. You are not in Fantasy Grounds.
Am I not?
Doesn't look like you are.
Oh, hold on. I see the problem. There I am.
There you are. No, because I was going in to look.
Yep,
1 second.
I'm here.
Yeah, there you are.
I will still not specifically sing shanties in Sea of Thieves. I leave that to much more professional people.
Come on, you work. There we go. Finally. All right. Sorry, I was trying to get my Fantasy Grounds to actually work. It wasn't wanting to work. Ah. Yes. He
And
can go with you. The puppeteer can go with you, Barney, if you'd like. He'd be probably pretty good in a fight, but you don't know what he can or cannot do.
I don't need him to fight for me.
What were you gonna say, Perry?
I was gonna say I want people to take a peek in Werewolf chat on Discord. Mm-hmm.
Oh no. What have you done?
Don't worry, it's pleasing to the Ebon Dragon.
We're all gonna
I
die
will post these in
sooner rather
the...
than later.
I will post these in the Tabletop Image channel. Remember, if you are watching this recording on YouTube, you can look it up on the Discord by simply searching in the Tabletop Image for today's title.
Oh, I need a drink.
Yes. Now it's just a matter of what you guys want to do between yourselves. How do you guys want to go about this? And I will walk you guys through.
And the Ebon Dragon is always watching.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. Go to the closest sigil.
That'll be on the first floor of the building.
I'll kind of let the puppeteer take lead because otherwise I'm not going to do stealth. We kill.
And
I guess I'll go with Perry.
Okay.
I'll watch for the patrols as I sneak in darkness.
Okay. Michael, what are you going to try to do?
Probably sneak along after. Probably go with the knight to one of the other sigils. Jason.
Okay.
But
So we're
I
gonna
unfortunately
have...
need to step away for a little bit.
Okay. So Jason and Michael go for one sigil. And right now it looks like we're gonna have Perry and Nevin going for another. What do you guys want your puppeteer friend to do? Do you want him to come with you guys, or do you want him to help you guide you guys along, give you guys help and such?
Was he not helping me?
I'm just double checking. Is it? Do you want him to go with you, Barney, or do you want him to stay behind and focus more on just assistance?
He needs to come with me.
Okay. Then he will go with you, Barney.
Again, I'm stating for the record, if someone is not with Barney, Barney is not going to be silent. He's going to make this loud.
Okay. Then everyone, please roll me a stealth roll, please.
See what my stealth even is.
I think I also have 10 dice.
Barney, you get to roll 7 dice.
Okay, good, because I don't even have stealth.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Well,
Chance dice.
One, two, three, four. So that's 4 stealth.
Is that 3 for me?
Barney does not have stealth as a skill.
Nevin, you have 4. Reroll that 10. So roll that 10 again. Just roll another dice. All right, so you got 5 successes there, Nevin. And I will wait for Michael to get back to do their stuff. So let's go in order. We're going to go with Nevin and Perry's route first. You guys are able to make your way down the tunnel. It doesn't seem like there's any guards here until you hit the first floor and split up.
All right, gang, let's split up.
So basically, Devin and Perry, you guys head down the left way to where you were told the sigil was. And Barney and our puppeteer friend begin to make their way to the right with Michael and Jason toward the stairwell to make their way up to the other floors. As you guys are navigating, Nevin, Perry, we'll do you guys first. This place has been trash beyond belief. You can see the floor is abound with garbage. You can see old gurneys, wheelchairs just laying around, either on their sides or just in the hallways, or even some of the rooms that you kind of go past. And as you make your way to the entry hall for this building, like where the front door would be, you can see behind a large secretary desk, you can see what looks like a strange runic sigil on the wall in what looks to be wet blood to your noses. There's a ton of spray paint and graffiti along the walls and such. This just looks like almost one more symbol among them. But to you, Perry, I don't even require a roll. You can clearly tell this is not normal. You need to get a closer look to identify it, but you know for a fact that's what you're looking for. And sitting near the table, just in front of the sigil, are 2 guys playing cards. They do not look attentive in the slightest. And they are currently grumbling to each other as it looks like they're playing something like poker. Their guns are just laying on the ground beside them. What do you two wish to do?
Looks like we may have to peer into the Umbra, see if they have any Bane spirits following them.
So you're gonna look into the Umbra, check the
Yep.
spirit world. Okay, when you do so, doesn't look like there are any Bane spirits. You can, however, see the spirits of the dead. There's a lot of them here. Most of them do not look powerful enough to actually breach the storm wall, and actually cause havoc here. But you can see in some areas, in some rooms, it looks like the wall is. It looks like almost like a wooden wall where a termite has eaten a hole through it.
Is that where the ward is, or?
No, this is actually in other rooms. It's not just one. There are multiples. Give me a occult plus intelligence roll, Toshime. Or wow, brain. Perry, give me an occult plus intelligence roll.
I try to assist.
Yes, you can. So you give an intelligence plus occult roll as well. Reroll the 10s.
Oh,
Good job.
Okay.
7.
With that roll, well then. So, Perry, you look at this. They're clearly spiritually originated. Like, this is something with the spirit world here. But this doesn't look like something that a normal spirit would do, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Your training hasn't really gone super into this. You feel like you might have heard something about it, but you've never really seen or experienced anything like this. So this is a little out of your depth here. Nevin, however, you look at it, and for you, this is clear as day. This is a nihil, is what they are called. There are multiple ones here if you check around. What a nihil is basically a hole between the spirit world and our world where spirits can enter our world through it, even if they aren't strong enough to breach the wall between worlds. They can use those basically as a tunnel through a mountain, so to speak. As long as those nihils are open, those ghosts can probably fuck with anyone who's alive very, very easily.
okay. I whisper this correspondence to Perry and kind of I'm reminded by the time that I ran into a kind of a gang that had these
Looking
like
at
running around. So I found out about them.
looking at everything going on around here right now, this building is probably based on what you know, Nevin, and with that roll you got, This place is going to be filled with hills. If you hadn't gotten the permission of the ghosts to come here and help them out, you would probably be being mobbed and fucked with by these ghosts. No doubt, it's probably a safe assumption that the reason these guards are so just kind of out of sorts here right now is because the ghosts are messing with them somehow, likely manipulating their emotional states to make them so relaxed and kind of at each other's throats as they're playing their game. Likely what they're hoping is one of them will pick up their gun and shoot the other one.
Shall we accelerate the process a bit?
Probably not. I probably just need to sneak past them.
The sigil is about 20 feet behind them on the wall. Perry, you can attempt to make a stealth roll if you want to get over to it with a -2 penalty.
Do you want to throw something out in the hallway to distract them?
Sure.
Okay. Then you may make your stealth roll without a penalty, and Evan, I will need another stealth roll from you as well.
Well, it's,
As you throw some of the trash that's on the ground, both of their heads shoot up, and they immediately reach for their guns and move over to get a look at it. And neither seem to notice as you guys scoot on by, staying close to the shadows and using the natural darkness to your advantage. And you are able to make it over to the sigil. Give me an intelligence plus occult roll, both of you, to identify these symbols here.
Not my day. We both botch.
Oh, oh. Yes, you look upon this. This is obviously a very powerful calling rune. This is a rune that will summon spirits from miles around here. Very, very powerful, very difficult to make.
And just rub it out. And let's get on our way.
Yeah. Let's not mess with.
Give me a perception plus awareness roll, please, or perception plus brain. One moment. One moment. Where are you? Come on, come on. Where are you?
I actually don't know what my perception is.
There's no perception on this.
Yeah, that's why I realized I needed to give something different. That's why I was grabbing my sheet real quick so I could double check this one. Because I'm used to something different, and
Wits?
I have to keep. It would be, I think. There we are.
Be finesse.
All right, so we will go with here. I think the best roll will be wits plus.
Investigation.
Yes, I believe so. Wits plus investigation.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
And Nevin's a botch.
Oh boy. I don't have that many dice. I did not make these things to be this good at this. There's rolling a lot of tens. They're rolling a lot of tens. Okay. So Perry, you rolled the highest. I'll give you this choice. Even or odd.
Even.
All right, let's see what the dice says. Even or odd. Okay, that is going to happen then. All right, so this is going to be going against you, Perry.
Hey, look, a beat.
Oh, look, something shiny.
What is that?
Okay, did not roll that well. Thank God it did not roll that well. Okay, so it's only, what's your soak?
My defense?
Yes.
5.
No. What? Oh, that's right. They changed that in the system. Never mind. What is your? Sorry. What is your just your straight stamina?
Stamina 3.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Oof. Okay then. Out. Hello, welcome, Red Raven. Zim is the owner of this stream. I'm just the DM. I'm Kerr. Welcome to us, though. I'm just running game at the moment, so not really paying too much attention to the chat as much as I want to, mostly because we're just about to get in something very complicated.
Oh hey, Kajiro is here. Hiya.
Please, on your character sheet, Perry, please mark off only, thank goodness, 3 boxes on your health track. Lethal damage.
Hey there, sorry about that. I am back. Yeah, let's get Stream Raiders going, and yeah, I'm back now.
As you guys begin to make your way back down the tunnel, something moves out of the shadows, bursts through the wall. It doesn't actually damage the wall, it more just comes straight out of the wall. This thing is... its body is just wrong. Its scales that you can see. It's almost vaguely serpentine-ish with long, gangly limbs, dripping black ichor, almost like oil. And its claws reach out and just swipe across your side, Perry, as you stumble back. It looks like it was going to try to rip your heart out, but you were able to move out of the way, so its claws only just bit into your chest and then slid along your side in a deep group of gashes. And you can see the thing start chuckling as it just kind of lifts its hand off and licks the blood off of its claws. And now we have initiative, everyone. What is your... Each of you will roll a d10 and add your initiative modifier to it, which is your dex plus your composure.
Does that include those of us that are not with that group?
Nope, this will just be Nevin and Perry.
Okay. So then, specify them instead of saying everyone.
Sorry, I just meant the group I was with.
Oh, well, you all heard it here first, folks. Apparently, Kerr is only playing the game for Toshime and Lars. Well, Moriarty, I guess we'll find ourselves another DM.
No, I was just going to suggest we riot.
Oh yeah, we could just riot.
Let's riot!
Rabble, rabble!
Rabble, 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 rabble. What happened? Someone left.
There went the DM.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Kerr. Please.
Kerr back?
Kerr is back.
Hello.
Did you get chased out of town?
Oh, God. Okay. I did not... This thing should not be this deadly. Even or odd, Perry?
Even.
Okay, I'm letting the dice decide, because this thing isn't that smart here. God damn it, Perry. It likes you. I think it hurt you, and now it's just like, oh, this is easy. It
Take the
doesn't...
blood.
So it's going to go for you, but this is not a surprise attack. So you said your defense is 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to make its attack roll. And let's see how many successes it rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. 4. So does it roll a 10? Does it roll a 10? It does not. So, Perry, this time, this thing dashes forward again. Its claws swiping at you. This time, though, you are able to step back just enough that it misses you. But you can feel the wind from how fast its claws were moving as it swiped at you. This time it was going for your throat. It was just going to try to either take your throat out or take your entire head off your shoulder.
Oh boy. But I was ready for it.
This time you were ready for it. And it did not catch you. Nevin, it is your turn.
Okay. I take my... So, I'm gonna get my hunting knife, and I'm gonna just lunge at the thing and try to shove it real hard and fast.
Okay. Make your attack roll. That will be your melee plus your dexterity.
You mean weaponry?
Yes, sorry. Still getting used to the new world.
I get the proficiency bonus for knives, right?
Yes, so that'll be a +1.
Not that great.
Got a 10. Reroll that 10.
No.
You go for it. You make a jab at its throat, but this thing almost just like flows around your limb, and you can hear it cackling. It seems to be just enjoying this immensely. And Perry, it will be your turn.
Okay. And I'm going to go for a bite.
Okay.
So that's going to be just a strength and brawl.
Yes. Also, you get to heal 1 point of damage, Perry.
Okay.
This will be the start of the minute healing.
So how much defense does my armor give me?
It gives you the ability to soak lethal damage. And
Okay.
such as like firearms, and it also gives you a +1 on your defense. Also lets you soak aggravated as well. That was one of the big things for this armor.
Don't
2, 3,
teach my
4,
hamster
5,
to suck
6.
eggs.
We have an influence.
Oh no, Wolfstein, what are you gonna do?
Actually, I think you got 6 successes there, Toshime.
Yeah, it was 6.
Okay. That will hit it. What does Maw of Madness do? While I wait for Sim to send me the influence.
Oh yeah, damn! I forgot to use my eviscerate. Fudge.
Joke.
Yep. That I will accept that. Woo.
Okay. And
What does Maw of Madness do, Perry?
it inflicts moon taint on them.
Okay.
So they suffered the poison tilt while the condition lasts.
Okay.
And first time sees the full moon after suffering moon taint inflicted by spasms. Must achieve 5 successes on an extended resolve composure roll. Fails any of these rolls, enter Dalu with Primal Urge 1. Also enters Wasu M.
Okay. Wasu Im is basically the death state. The death rage. Okay. So that will be. What is your strength?
My strength is 5.
Oh God! Ow! So So that's gonna be. Please roll 10 dice of damage, please. My poor baby.
Roll of 2.
Oh, yeah. Your fangs just bite into this thing's shoulder, and it roars in pain. Like, you can see it just shocked. Like, normally a bite shouldn't do this much damage, but it looks like your teeth are actually like almost burning it when you bit it.
Not to mention the tentacles that wrap around out from the bite wound.
Yep, and it's gonna take that. So I need to make a roll real quick for this.
And that spent an essence point, but since I bit into a spirit, I get it back.
Ow. You see its body literally just start almost tearing itself apart and just like melting. And it looks to be in very, very bad shape right now. And it's going to take a swing at you, Perry, because you hurt it badly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not laughing anymore. It realized what it's dealing with right now. Oof. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Thankfully, it's only this.
Since I am in Dalu,
What's your stamina again?
my stamina is 3, and with Dalu I have armor 2.
Okay, that's important here. Okay, so it's only going to do another 3 points of damage to you because of your armor and your stamina. Your body is tougher, so this time when it goes for its claw, it's trying to tear your heart out, but it's not able to get anything in, and it just gets another deep gouge across your chest, Perry. Thankfully, give yourself a few minutes. You'll probably be able to regenerate the damage.
Okay.
Nevin, it is your turn. By the way, you haven't heard any signs of the two guards, despite the fight that's going on here. It doesn't seem like there's any creatures that have shown up. Or no, none of the people, the two guards that you saw, they haven't shown up yet. They were only like 40 feet away. They should easily be able to see this, but there's no sign of them.
Yeah, can I use my eviscerate now? Or is the opportunity gone already?
What does that do?
It's supposed to, I mean, I guess it's not surprised anymore. Or
Uh,
was it
it
even
it was
surprised?
it was never surprised. It surprised you guys.
Yeah, okay. I'll just try to carve out its throat again with my knife, which should, by the way, have the silver effect.
Okay. Make your attack roll. Yes, this is a game called Werewolf the Apocalypse / Werewolf the Forsaken. It is a RPG like D&D or Pathfinder, and each of our players is a werewolf.
It's a tabletop RPG, similar
Yep.
to D&D. Well, it's the same genre as D&D, Pathfinder, etc., but a very different kind of game overall.
Yes. That's 9 successes on your attack.
Ow.
Ow. What is your strength?
4.
4 plus that, 5 plus the number of successes you got. Ow, roll 10 dice. You have 10 dice of damage here. Two, three, four, five. Reroll that 10. Yeah, with Toshime's damage, even with this that way. Um, this thing's focus is almost entirely on parry right now. And as it rears back to make another strike, Nevin, you're able to dash in, get within its guard, and just ram your knife up through the bottom of its jaw and up into its brain. You can tell this thing is twitching. It's not going down like a normal creature should. From what you can probably guess, your knife is not doing as much damage to it as it would against a living physical creature. But with the damage that's already taken, its body just can't maintain itself here as it just kind of dissolves and breaks apart and basically collapses into a puddle of black goo that fades away.
Well, holy crap, that thing was tough. Hey, you okay, Perry?
For now. I'll heal up.
Give it a few minutes. You'll be healed up, okay? And if you look over, you can see both of the guards laying in puddles of their own blood with their throats cut.
Man, that was quick. Like, it surprised both of them and then us.
It doesn't look like they are laying in puddles of their own blood, though. Rather, it looks like they are covered in what looks to be rose petals. The sight is almost beautiful in some strange, dark form. But just a sniff of the air, you can clearly tell those rose petals aren't rose petals. That's blood. And yet, it's a very beautiful sight, too. Even now, it seems like rose petals are falling from their throat down onto their chest or onto the ground around them. Neither of you saw what did this, either.
Concerning.
Might as well let everybody else know that we got this one.
Yeah. Let's get going.
Yep.
Alright, so let's jump over to Barney.
Yep.
Which floor did you want to head to?
Which floor probably would give the most resistance?
All the floors seem to be guard around the same. Most of the heaviest protection is directly around in the ritual room itself.
Ritual room was on top floor, wasn't it?
7th floor, yes.
We'll go for the top.
The other sigils are on the 2nd, 4th, and 6th floor.
We'll go for the 6th floor then.
Okay. You guys are able to make your way up the stairwell.
Duke.
And you almost walk right into a guard before your companion is able to tug you back. Right before you would walk into his line of sight.
Barney gives a growl, but tries to, keep himself contained.
As the guard walks past, he points over to a room that's on the other side of the hallway, past where the guy walked by, and he nods towards there. That's where the sigil is.
Okay, Barney is gonna move into that area. He's gonna, just try to quietly destroy it.
As you make your way into the room, you can see that this looks like a surgery hall. You can see all manners of knives, blades, and other very, very sharp implements laying around a table in the center of the room, where there are many straps for someone basically to get strapped in and be taken care of and basically experimented on.
Okay.
And at the end of the room, across from the doorway, you can see what looks to be a strange sigil carved into the wall with that looks like actually painted on the wall with what smells like blood.
Gotcha. And
That's all you see in this room.
right, and we'll take care of the sigil.
So you're just gonna walk over and just wipe out the sigil?
Just slash my claws through it, kind of destroy the wall a little bit in the process, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to easily do that, no problem. And your companion's just kind of staying at the doorway, keeping watching for anything that might be coming. And give me a give me an investigation plus wits roll, please.
Investigation plus wits.
Yep.
I do have investigation plus wits. Okay.
Because you
One.
did the same. Oh boy.
We're doing well tonight.
Alright, let's see how this thing does here. Oof. Okay. Yep. What's your no, actually you don't get that. Because your thing is set to 0 here. Because you do not see this attack coming. So this is an ambush.
Unless the puppet master points it out.
He's currently watching the doorway at the time.
I should If it was not obvious, I am in Garu form, basically
I
the entire
figured.
time.
I figured. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I believe you do have a defensive ability. So what does your
Defensibility.
you have a merit that gives you a stronger defense or something, or resistance to?
I think that's my. Hold on, you gotta get behind it. It might be my. I think it's my fortified form, which
Okay.
gives me additional armor.
In this video, I'm gonna show you what sounds.
And yeah, my armor is 5-7.
Okay. Okay. So
Defense of 5.
In this video, I'm gonna show you what sounds by the disabled can make.
So it hit you by 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys,
What is your stamina?
Your Discord messages are bleeding through.
Are you sure about that? All right, my stamina, you said? My stamina is... Where do I find my stamina?
It's just your stat.
Okay, where is that stat?
Top of your character sheet.
Attribute.
Oh, 4.
Okay. That's what I needed. Okay, so it's only gonna roll this many dice then because of that. You are a tough boy.
A very tough boy. I was bred for combat.
And of course it rolls a 10, because why wouldn't it today? Okay, so you turn around and start making your way back, and you feel something just slash across your back. And you stumble forward, pain just kind of going through you. And you turn around to see this serpent-like beast just kind of coming out of the wall. And please put 2 points of damage on your character sheet.
All right.
All right.
Aggravated or normal?
Just lethal damage.
All right, what's that, Koran?
So
Yes,
you
yes,
will
it
be able to
was.
you will be able to start regenerating that damage though on your turn.
I can't remember him ever saying that though.
I'm adding another
Right.
new card.
Let's have your initiative, sir.
All right, initiative mod is 7. Does that mean I roll 7 dice?
Nope, just roll a d10. Roll a d10, then add 7 to whatever you roll.
Okay. That's 13.
All right. So it will be our puppeteer friend first, then you, and then this creature. As when did you cry out in pain at all when you got cut?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah, when he heard that, he immediately turned and saw you. One of his hands reaches out towards you, and thin wires of glowing light lance out of his fingers to you, Barney. Do you attempt to resist?
No.
Okay. You feel a tug as he pulls his hand back, and you go sliding away from this creature when it makes another slash at you. From his other hand, he reaches out, flicks his hand out, and remember all those very sharp implements that were laying around?
Yeah.
As one, when he lifts his hand up, they all rise up into the air. And when this happens, this creature's face just goes from like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to eat mortal tonight, to I regret my life choices. As he just brings his hand down, and all of those very, very sharp implements and blades come down like a massive storm. So let's see what he gets here on his roll of pain. Ow! So he has that, so he's going to get this. Only that. So he's only rolling this much damage. So you see this thing just get impaled by all of these small blades, and it lets out a roar of pain and agony. But it's still moving. It does not look that good though, and it looks to be in a lot of pain, but it's still up. As it goes to you, Barney.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna think about salt, and then I'm gonna charge the thing with claws.
Your armor flows up over your body as you charge this thing, and you may make your attack with a +3 bonus.
3 dice or
3
what?
dice.
Okay, +3 dice bonus. Okay, and let me take a look here. Gives resist or die. I think I got some special stuff going on.
Correct, I believe so.
I get 1 HP for my purity.
Also, make sure you restore 1 of your HP.
Okay.
You do get to heal.
Yay. Gonna remind myself what Bloody Hand of Thunder was.
I'm loving it.
And now we're sued. Let's see. How long is a facet again?
What's up?
How long is a facet?
A facet is like one of your abilities. Are you talking about a scene?
Okay, no, there's a... Girded with this facet, the Rahu exults when faced with many foes. Okay, this is for multiple enemies, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll just hit him normally.
Okay.
My claws are +3A.
Aggravated.
Okay.
So that'll be for damage when you if you hit it.
Gotcha. And I roll the damage mod, and then do I add strength?
No, first you have to see if you hit it. So you're going to be rolling brawl plus 1 sec. You're going to be rolling your dex plus your brawl.
A dex plus brawl, I get a +1 specialty to claws.
Yep, so you get a
that's
+1
6, 7,
bonus.
8. And +3 that you said, that's 11 dice.
Yes. So you get to make your attack with 11 dice. My poor baby.
Oh, there's a 10 in there. So that's 1, 2, 3 successes.
So this thing very nearly gets out of your way. As it leans back, you realize you did not reach forward far enough to actually hit it, and it was going to dodge before you feel a tug, and you see that glowing string on your arm suddenly pull your arm further forward. It almost pulls you off balance, but the rest of your body just adjusts itself without you even thinking about it, as your claws just rip into its neck. And you may roll your damage. What is your strength?
Strength is 4.
4, and you get to add 3 to that. You do not get any extra successes over its defense. So you will roll 7 dice of damage.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, let me double check. I think my claws have a thing with them.
Okay.
Because I have the living weapon. Let me find where that is again. But I think it does give some extra damage to claw attacks. Where is living weapon?
I think you can
107.
control F.
Yeah, like I was kind of saying, I wasn't too worried about you guys facing these things. Like, for a normal mortal, like if your mages were fighting these things, I would be scared for your mages. For werewolves, you guys are made to kill these things. So you're able to get through a lot of its protections with like your fangs and your claws.
Ignore non-magical armor. Increases attacks damage by 1 atop its normal advantages. And yeah.
So you get an extra 1 dice to roll.
Yay.
And
I'll roll
re-roll
that.
those ones. Re-roll those ones.
Okay.
Re-roll that one. Okay.
3 successes. Assuming the ones don't count.
They do not count. Because you can feel like you do not necessarily get the best hit in. You feel your arms suddenly twist and just rip a hole in its throat before it tears out, taking about half this thing's throat with it as it lets out a gurgle before kind of collapsing to the ground and dissolving into like a black oily puddle. And like that, you feel the strings kind of let your body go. Are you okay? Your back looks like it took a pretty decent chunk out of it.
You know, I could have handled that without your help.
He kind of loosed his hands a little bit. I was just trying to help was all.
Bernie seems weirdly annoyed that he needed those strings to help him.
All right, so looks like these things are guarded. Should we let the others know? We don't even know
They're
if they've
probably
triggered
already
it.
figuring it out.
All right, should we head up to find the next seal, or do you want to head to the doors?
We should
We
head to
still
the
have-
doors.
Okay, we can wait there.
Make
we
sure
still
no
have-
one escapes.
All right, I can lead the way. I know I can get us up there pretty easily. There shouldn't be that many patrols there.
No,
And as you guys head out,
Lazang Sangata says, good job.
when you head out into the hallway, you can see the guard that you had passed by. He's been nailed to the wall. And beautiful red flowers are falling from his body.
he's not alive, right?
Oh no, he's not.
Okay.
His throat has been slit, and so has his wrists and ankles.
I don't know about this.
Your friend is going to stop when he sees this. We need to get out of here right now. We need to find the others right now.
All right, they were on the lower levels.
And Michael, your turn.
Hello.
Which floor did you want to go to?
Where did the other two go, and where's the rest?
Nevin and Perry are taking care of the seal on the first floor. Barney and your friend, the puppeteer, went to the 6th floor. There's the second, 4th, the second and the 4th floor that you know about, and then there's one more unknown that you do not know exactly where it is.
All right, they'll go to the second. Second sounds
Okay.
good.
So give me a stealth roll.
It's stealth plus dex.
Dex. Yep. Do you have an ability for stealth?
Fat 0. Huh?
Don't you have an ability for stealth?
Actually, I think it's still active, now that you mention it.
Yes.
Yeah, shouldn't you get our like renown bonus?
I think it's the breach one. No, shadow pelt. That's right.
Yes. I believe that's still active.
I need to get the book up still. I forgot to do that. There are so many things that are pinned here, though.
You're also a rocker, right?
Maybe? I don't remember. Okay, it's just number of stealth rolls equal to my cunning renown as a rote action.
Yep.
So,
So you get 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Not relevant.
Alright. But it seems luck is on your side as you make your way up.
Another loyal devotee.
Yay, we have a new follower. Thank you, Red Raven. As you make your way in, it seems like luck's on your side. All of the guards that are up here, and there's a couple, there's about 4 of them, none of them seem to notice you. Something always seems to attract their attention away from you. As you make your way across the hall and into one of the smaller rooms. And this room looks strange. Like, you can see a large set of boxes almost against the wall, but they look like you can swing them open and step inside, and you can see pipes going out of the top and into the wall. And on the far wall, near some windows, you can see a sigil on the wall.
All right. Still doing the one eye in the normal world and one eye in the spirit, the umbral realm.
The spirit
whatever.
world.
Yeah.
The Umbra.
the Umbra. And he is going to approach to
You
scrape it
can
off.
see the sigil is glowing in the spirit world. And you may make an intelligence plus occult roll here. And this does have to do with spirits.
Uh, 6.
That is a extraordinary success. So, with that roll, as you're getting to the sigil and reaching out to touch it, you stop. And you realize that if this sigil is not broken in a very specific pattern, it's basically going to act as a summoning sigil and call a Bane spirit into the world to attack whoever did this. Studying the symbol for about a minute, you feel good that you can probably replicate the proper counter sigil to disrupt the symbol without calling the Bane.
Well, he is going to do that and send a text to the others that you need to destroy them in a certain way.
And you are able to lay out exactly how to do it.
Perfect.
Yes, because of your superior success, you do not need to roll to try to do this. This comes with it. It's going to take about a minute of work. It's not difficult to do. It's just time consuming because the others just kind of wiped their hands across and smeared it. You are being very careful as you kind of use like a claw to etch a sigil over this sigil to do it. And by the time you're done, about a minute and a half later, you can see the glow from the sigil goes out in the spirit world. And you know for a fact that the sigil has faded. And you are good to go.
Excellent. Then I guess Michael's gonna head to the next one on the 4th floor, was it?
The one that we can't find. We don't know where.
Try to figure out where that one is. So, as you make your way out of here, you do see those guys that you had snuck past. All of their bodies are laying on the floor, artfully arranged in what looks like their bodies have been kind of folded and forcefully posed, impaled on some of their guns and some of like the nearby tables. It looks like some of the metal rebar had been broken off of the old gurneys. And it looks like these guys' body have been kind of speared into what looks like, if you had to guess looking at it from above, it would look like almost like a flower opening up.
Michael's going to look over at Jason. Well, that is disturbing.
And there is no blood falling from their wounds. Everything looks like beautiful red rose petals.
I think we might have some trouble here, Jason.
Jason's going to nod his head slightly. His hand is just resting on the hilt of his sword. Something is very wrong here. And I didn't sense anything before.
Do you sense something now?
No, not here. At least nearby. I don't normally. I would get something if it was some creature of darkness. No offense. You're the only thing I technically see, I suppose would be the term.
Wait.
Oh, no
it's
offense at
coming
all.
back.
I take that as a compliment. The shadows
It's
are
coming
my
back to
realm.
me. Wasn't the puppet master called Jack before?
Could have been. I haven't been able to find it in my notes, but I've been also focusing on the session.
You really need to keep better track of your notes.
I have like 4 different things of notes here, and I have to keep opening and closing them as I go through them.
We're gonna have to start calling you Dova. And turn you into a bird so you can fumble your papers properly.
We'll call him Jack then for right now. Just until I can go dig it up. But yeah, see, I don't see anything. Not here. Which means either this whatever is doing this is mortal, or whatever is doing this is somehow eluding me, and that's never happened before.
Well then, I suppose we shall have to stay on our guard. Even more so. But we need to find that last sigil.
Hold on, should we meet up with the others?
Probably a good idea.
All right. So everyone else, your phones buzz.
Please tell me none of you... please tell me you all remember to put your phones on silent. Or vibrate. Because I swear if your phones are actually going off, Michael is going to kill you.
Try me.
Joke.
Each of you are getting a text from Michael detailing how to dispose of the sigils safely.
Oh, well,
A little bit
that's
late on
annoying.
that.
Yeah. Do we like go back and do it again?
Too late for that.
We already disposed of the sigil. Michael does at everyone. Hey guys, here's how you safely dispose of the sigil. Everyone replies, we already took care of that.
So there's only 2 sigils left now.
There were 4 sigils, and we took care of 3.
Michael just finds a video on TikTok and sends it to everybody on how to properly dispose of the sigil.
It's one of those TikTok videos that was clearly originally a YouTube video that wasn't the aspect ratio wasn't changed so that it's basically playing a YouTube video but like horizontal ways instead of
And it's
vertical
got,
ways.
and of course it's got giant freaking black boxes on the top and bottom.
Yeah. That's how you know it's aspect ratioed.
Don't worry, it's only ratioed.
Been ratioed.
speaking of everyone, we do have our own TikTok that you can go check out of past clips from the channel. Just go ahead and do !social in the chat, and you can get your. It'll take you to our link tree where you can find our TikTok, our YouTube, and much more.
By the way, hey everyone. As you guys are making your way to the stairwell to make your way up to the other floors, all of you suddenly feel the air go absolutely frigid.
Freezing temperatures.
Like before, it was
Alright,
like...
Guys, we got freezing temps. Go ahead and mark that in your journals. Lars, grab the EMF. Moriarty, we're gonna have you do the sonic sensor, the microphone thing. Check if it's a banshee.
I hate the sonic sensor.
Well, too bad. You're gonna have to do that. Toshime, go ahead and grab the spirit box and try to talk with it. I'm gonna go look for ghost orbs.
It was a balmy 70 or 80 degrees beforehand. It was a nice day, despite it being night. And now, it feels like it's like -10 in here. Like, you can see your breath around you. Oh yes, also, since Michael, you're looking in the spirit world, you can see swarms of spirits moving up the stairway, moving towards the 7th floor. Like, they are full on sprinting up the stairs.
He's going to send a text to everybody. We may want to vacate these premises now. Possibly yesterday.
As we're right here.
You hear the buzz of a phone, and you look down the stairs to see the others making their way up, and then from above you can see the others looking down.
We should probably get out of here.
Jason kind of has his hand on his sword, and he's just watching. You get the distinct sense he can see these spirits as they're running and just making their way upstairs.
I'd rather make sure that the target is dead.
Let's make sure that we aren't dead. Let's go down to the 1st floor, at least.
Didn't somebody have plastic explosives?
Wrong group. That's in the mage game.
So
no,
it's so
that
hard
was
to tell.
this one.
No, this one did.
But we already used them on the place where we got loop.
So no plastic explosives?
I believe not.
Listen, if we can't, if we cannot confirm the kill, then I want to bring this building down.
We can at least watch all sides of it and make sure nobody escapes.
I feel like this building's probably too big for that. Given that it has like 3 different wings.
We're all going down to the 1st floor again, at least.
As you're making your way downstairs, you can suddenly hear the howls of werewolves, the roars of battle, and then suddenly you hear the scream starts. You hear werewolves screaming in what sounds like absolute terror.
Yeah, let's go.
You
I
kidding
don't
me? Whoever
think
the
they-
hell that is needs our help.
That's the black spirals.
I was gonna say that those are the bad guys. We want them to die.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Well, then I want to
besides,
go
think
make
it's
sure that they're
too
dead.
Well, Barney, it was nice knowing you. Looks like we're gonna need to find ourselves a new pack mate.
As you guys are kind of talking here, you see a body suddenly get pitched over the railing and fall down towards you. But he seems like the body is twirling in the air, falling slowly. It's almost like. Have any of you ever blown on dandelion or on like the? I'm trying to think of what the name of the flower is. The white.
Yes, that is the dandelion puff.
That is the dandelion. Okay, I thought it was. I couldn't remember for sure. It's
So
like that.
the lion forgot what a dandelion is.
I thought it was something. I was imagining a sunflower. I got mixed up.
I thought he was like a golden retriever.
No, he
That
used
was
to be a
old.
husky, but now he's a lion. We just haven't got an updated art yet.
And as the body is falling, it's twirling in place, spinning, their arms outstretched as they just kind of swirl towards the ground. And from dozens and dozens of cuts across its body, its throat sliced, almost enough that its head has fallen off its body. Blood just comes pouring out of it, falling away from its body in a beautiful storm of roses, of rose petals. And the entire site, other than the corpse of like a twisted looking werewolf falling, is actually like a breathtakingly beautiful sight in its own twisted, sick way. Like, this really is beautiful.
With this going on, I'm going to quickly cut my palm, do the binding circle, and try to bind the doctor back here.
Make a intelligence plus occult roll.
Like if you guys would have wanted explosives, you would have needed to have taken my Humvee.
You move almost lightning fast, Perry. You slice your palm, using the blood to quickly etch the binding circle into the ground, and you call out his name. The blood circle flares, glowing, as you repeat the name over and over again. And in a flash of light, one moment the circle is empty. The next, you can see the doctor. He looks terrified. His body is covered in gashes. And you can see what looked to be chains impaled in his back. 4 of them. And he is looking around frantically, terrified. And his eyes look at you, widen, like half mad with both rage and terror. And he opens his mouth to speak before the chains suddenly tug, pull him back. He slams into the back of the circle. The light flares, and it's almost like you can see a cylindrical wall where the circle is, and he's just pulling against it. Help me! Before the circle breaks, and he gets dragged back up the stairs towards the 7th floor, screaming.
I don't think anything is escaping up there alive. I am leaving this building with or without you. Actually, better idea. Jason, grab him. Michael's gonna try and grab Barney on the other side and drag him out.
By the way, quick note, all of you would have seen the cuts that the doctor had were letting out translucent petals. He wasn't actually bleeding because he doesn't have blood, but the ectoplasm that he was leaking was shaped like petals.
And Barney's just gonna pull his arms away. He's just gonna be like, I think I've seen enough here to go to just I'm good.
Yeah, Jack is like absolutely terrified right now. Like he is just staring up towards the 7th floor, and he just looks scared.
No death, no glory.
And at that moment,
I'm going to have to see what's going on. Since he's getting dragged back up, I'm going to use one of my spells.
Okay.
And the name of it is that one. Intelligence, Occult, and Wisdom.
Oh, this spell! This spell is a very useful spell. Or facet, rather.
So I'm glad it's useful, but what does it do?
I cannot see what's going on around me, so you guys are going to have to guide me, but I get to see through all the spirits that were running up there.
No, Perry, you got a more than 5 successes, so you are able to keep track of yourself too.
Okay.
So, Perry, what you see, this is you see a massive ritual room in what looks to be the main surgery hall. Like this is like one of those big surgery theaters up here on the 7th floor, and it looks like most of it has been cleaned out. Like this is actually like clean and nice looking. You can see a couple of generators, working lights, and you see a massive ritual circle in the center of the room. And you're seeing this from multiple different angles here. It's hang on a second. I'm trying to think of how I would want to do this real quick. For this roll, For this roll, I want to see a Would it be that? I think so. There we go. Yeah, give me a willpower roll. Okay. You do not go into catatonic meltdown, which is good. Good. However, as you see this, in the center of the room where the circle was, you can see a massive towering beast. Easily like 12 to 15 feet tall. It takes up basically the entire room from floor to ceiling. At least it would have. If it hadn't collapsed forward, its body perforated multiple times, and you can see its head has been cleaved right from its body. Its form is vaguely like your guys' own werewolf form, only covered in a hard crustacean shell, and you can see little crab-like limbs coming out of it as well. It looks like it has two large, normal claws, like your guys' hands. Below those, two actual crab claws, and then underneath those, two little like legs for like little talons. And then from its chest are two more claws that come out. And this thing's head has just basically been ripped right off of its body. And standing on its form, you can see a man, very, very finely dressed. He is wearing something like... Yep. Toshime shared Hikakin's image. For around him, you can see multiple black spirals, like 24 of them easily. Their bodies look like they have been cut apart and then artfully arranged into what look almost like flower-like shapes. Limbs have been pushed together, heads stacked on each other to form like a stalk, and then having legs come out of the top. It is both horrifically demented and yet also beautiful in a twisted way as well. And you can see some of the ghosts, specifically of the orderlies and the doctors and the caretakers, are also being impaled on these 4 chains that are just whipping around the room, moving lightning fast. You can see blades on the end of these chains, and where they touch, it's like a hot knife through butter. And it's not touching any of the patient's ghosts, though. It's nimbly moving around them. as it's just going after the people who should be in charge, it seems. And all four of these chains are coming out of this man who is standing on this beast's back. He is holding the head of the creature above him and just kind of looking at it. His skin is very, very pale. Like, almost like pale whites. Like he hasn't seen the sun in a day, in like years. His clothing is very... It's not old-fashioned, but it is not necessarily... Let me see if I can find an example real quick. Trying to find the right outfit that I'm looking for. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. I'm sharing this in our Discord real quick, just so I can kind of give... Actually, I'm going to share this image in Tabletop Live Image.
No, tabletop image.
Oh, I can't. Tabletop Image.
For those that are watching, look up the title of the stream without the season and episode number, and you can see these images that have been shared today for this game. It's on the Discord in the Tabletop Image channel. We don't
He's
have
wearing
rights.
something like almost like...
We don't have rights to these things, so I can't really share them on stream, but, you know, they're over there, so you can see them later.
It looks like a vintage military jacket that he's wearing. And it's a blue jacket, the tassels on his shoulders. He has a sword sheath at his side. He has not drawn it. You cannot see the blade. It looks like not a saber, but a short, long, or sorry, it's a short sword. You're not sure exactly the type though, without getting a better look at it. And his hair is black, jet black. And his eyes are pale, almost like the color's kind of been leached out of it.
And I'm going to spend an essence to use pack awareness so that everybody else can see this.
And you hear him begin to speak. His voice is deep, rich, beautiful to listen to. Like, really, really nice looking. And so, our show has ended. I do hope my dear audience here has enjoyed the spectacle. Your screams have been delightful. Your cries ecstatic. Your deaths have been beautiful. For your crimes that you have committed, you have found solace in a most ecstatic and beautiful end. I thank you, my subjects, for giving me the honor to work with you this night, to bring about such a beautiful ending to you all. And so, I bid ye good night and fair eternity. And as he finishes speaking, he kind of gives a bow to the patient's ghost as the chains kind of retract and vanish into his back, with no damage to his outfit at all. And as he does so, he lifts a hand, speaks a word, and you can see the doorway into this room darken, and many of the ghosts begin to run for it.
And are all the werewolves and everything dead too? Because I know you
Yes.
were definitely describing the ghost, but
Oh yeah,
All
no,
the villains.
the werewolves were probably the first to die. Their bodies have all been artfully arranged as well. Like, this man has fucking style. Twisted and disgusting, but damn, does this man have style. However, you do notice one thing. He stops one of the ghosts. And when the spirit turns to look at him, he kind of lifts a finger and points. An audience. An even greater audience than what I was expecting. I do hope you enjoyed the spectacle to this night. You truly were quite integral to my piece. And so I thank you for allowing me to give the demonstration of a lifetime far easier than what I thought I was going to have to do. Oh, where are my manners? Forgive me for being so rude to all of you. I am the Ebon Prince, bringer of the most ecstatic endings. Joyous blaze of carnage and blood. But you may simply call me the Prince, for short. It is a delight to meet my audience acquaintance. Though I suppose it is only right that I leave a few survivors to carry my genius into the world and to allow others to know of it. Though this does not suit our first meeting. A moment, please. And in a moment, it seemed like the spirit blinked and he wasn't in the room anymore.
Barney is growling and looks like he wants to kill this man.
This Kurdaw is over with.
But I didn't get to Sisker the dove.
You hear footsteps coming.
It would be rude to leave.
running down the stairs now.
As you're moving, you see something fall, like right past you, and land on the first floor. Greetings, my assembled audience! It is such a delight to perform for you this evening. As I have already introduced myself, I shall do so once more, as we now get to greet each other in person. I am the Ebon Prince. It is such a delight to meet your acquaintance. You who have helped me create such a beautiful work of art this night. Jason has his hand on his sword, and he's almost drawn it. And Jack looks absolutely fucking terrified.
Hello there. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. I am Michael.
Growl, 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 growl. Growl, 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 growl.
You've probably already seen what we've done.
Oh, indeed I did. I have been observing this scene for quite some time, planning the most artful arrangement that I possibly could. It is not every day that one gets to work with material such as this. Tell me, I heard from one of my sources that the spirit that was called here, Hakaken, the incarna of fear, the heart of fear, was weakened by a band of werewolves. And yet I spy before me werewolves. Coincidence? I think not. Were you the ones who weakened him?
Yes.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yes, he was far weaker than I expected. Something that I think even you all together could have faced quite readily. But, well, it's not every day one gets to work with an Incarna. Such a beautiful piece of artwork I created. My heart still shivers at the sight. Seeing a being that is almost personified fear feel true and utter terror before its end. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You see him kind of like just shiver in delight. Now, tell me, what are your names?
Nope.
We did what was necessary. You need not know more.
You already know who we are.
Indeed, I do. So, tell me, are you also the ones who know the child?
Yes. I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. If you try to go for him, though, I will do everything I can to stop you.
What is this child a concern of yours?
His eyes are just looking at Michael. Rage, power, the unbreakable will. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. See that we'll put into manifest to fight against everything that would oppose it, no matter how impossible it might be. Oh, such beauty I could make from that. But now is not the time. It requires proper planning to create an art piece worthy of such renown. But I have my eyes on the child. And, well, he is quite important in some of the circles that I move in.
By the way, Nevin has his special metallic mask on which kind of makes him sound metallic as well. He doesn't want his face be shown right now.
So, you have done me a favor, though. You have done me quite the favor. So, and you have been quite respectful to me. Not like those upstairs. No. Far
Barney
better.
continuously growling.
So I will offer you this word of advice. Something that, well, I think you should know.
I'd attempt to.
There is another group who believe that this boy has power. That he can open the world of the living to them and increase their power. And they are planning to try to get a hold of the child.
Yes, great power to change the future of the world or whatever, but what does it concern you?
Well, it concerns me because I take great pains to ensure that the dead are given the reverence that they are owed, and that the living take care of the dead. Not many care about the ghosts of those who pass on. They do not give them the respect and remembrance that they deserve, and the dead are not able to fulfill their part in helping their descendants. And though I am an artiste, first and foremost, I take my duty to the dead very seriously. As you no doubt notice, I took great pains to ensure that those who suffered here were allowed release, and that those who harmed them were punished for it. But some of them are after the boy. They wish to use his power to allow the dead to walk among the living, to disrupt the balance, and to take from the living what is not owed them.
All those werewolves that died, there was one among them, or was supposed to be. That was
I was actually going to bring that up too. There is one that is of significance to the child that you are wanting to know about. What became of him?
Yes, a brotherly figure.
You see him actually pause and frown. Though I do not like to admit it, one did escape my art. He seemed aware of me when I was coming and fled into the spirit world as soon as I began my attack, rather than stay and fight like the others.
Powerful one he is. Must have insights that we do not.
What would you say you cut out there for me?
He has more insight than what we thought.
Yes.
He escaped into the spirit world. I do not know where. I was thinking of hunting him down, but well, here you are. But no, one of the Death Lords have their eye on the boy, the Smiling Lord.
I had to mute myself for that point.
He is one of the rulers of the dead. And he has his eyes on the boy for his power.
No one is getting at the boy without going through me.
I simply thought it best that you should know, is all. So that you can plan in case some spirits decide to cause trouble.
Perhaps, yes.
However, go ahead.
I was going to say we should be on our way to start our next plan.
If you wish to depart, by all means, go ahead. You should find that the way out should be clear for you. I took care of that when I made my way in.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Prince.
He bows. We shall be seeing each other soon, I believe.
Sooner than later. Nod and start walking off.
If you say so, Ethan one. If you say so.
Then you guys will all be able to leave safely.
Now,
Huzzah.
is Barney going to leave peacefully?
He seems very much pissed, but he doesn't act on it.
You didn't... Is the Syscar done? Is the person who gave the phone call dead?
Yes.
Do we just, like, instinctively know that that person is dead?
Yes.
The rage fades.
I'm not angry because of the Siskarda. I'm angry because he took my Siskarda kill. He stole my kill.
Are you going to call a Sisker Daw on him?
I can't. I don't think I can call Sisker Daw over stolen kills.
But you do know that he's evil, right?
Is that enough to Sisker Daw him?
Creature
The
of
vamp-
darkness, yes. But because of who
Regardless.
he is, he would know that you did that.
Regardless, he is beyond us. I think we have established that much.
I mean, you could try to fight him if you wanted to. There's every chance you could win.
It would be a beautiful death.
I see what you did there.
So are we getting into the Humvee again? Just driving off?
We do not have my Humvee. You chose to
the
leave it
SUV.
behind.
The SUV? Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
And where are we going to?
That is a great question.
Back to Michael's house?
Oh.
That sound like the best idea, everyone?
Yep.
After that, I will need to visit my safe house. So, I will be gone for a little while. But I will be back. You can count on it.
And I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry,
sorry.
everyone, but I have a perfect deal for Domino.
I like the way you said that.
A perfect deal, you say, darling.
For all you and your sister's assistance, I have a memory to give to you.
Oh, and what's that, darling?
The Perfect Massacre.
The Perfect Massacre. I don't believe I have seen that before.
Yes, it's from somebody who's called the Ebon Prince.
Domino's not there anymore. Literally,
So
one
wait.
moment he was sitting in the car with you guys as you were driving back. The next, he's just not there anymore.
He's just gone.
That tells you how powerful this guy is.
Yep.
Hey, he gave you some information, though, too. That was nice of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you were able to make it back to Michael's house pretty easily.
Joke.
So I'm guessing he doesn't want the memory.
Nope. And you can also see Loop is currently playing video games. And by playing video games, I mean crushing whoever he must be playing against online as if, ooh, like just completely and really crushing them.
Causing rage quits galore, I see.
Pretty much. But what are you guys doing? Luke doesn't seem to really pay too much attention. He's just engrossed in his games.
Yeah, Barney just kind of flops on the couch.
Arnie, aren't you going to try to figure out how they found the members of your group?
They're fucking Pentex. Like, they've got all the resources in the world. Like, it'd be more confusing if they didn't know how to do that, you know?
And figuring out how to cause the next blow to them?
Maybe we could just target any of their facilities. They got plenty of them. There's no shortage. Just basically whenever you guys are ready.
Well, Nevin's going to go visit his safe house now, so he leaves whatever he's borrowed
Oh
right
yeah,
now from
yeah.
Michael.
Also, wasn't Nevin like infiltrating them too?
Mm-hmm.
Like if anyone, we should be asking him. He would know where they're the weakest, or where they've got something special going on that we should try to stop.
Wait, Nevin's doing that?
I think.
I'm
I
sorry,
think.
not
No.
Nevin.
I think
Michael. I don't know why. I
That
don't
was
know why I thought
Michael.
Nevin.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. I don't know why my brain was like Nevin.
Nevin is the Army Ranger guy.
Yeah.
Excommunicated.
You could do that. That wouldn't be too hard to probably figure out. You do have probably some time though too to rest and kind of unwind a little bit after this successful raid.
That's basically what Barney's doing.
Is there anything else anyone else wants to do?
I just need to check on my equipment back at my safe house. Do some maintenance, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I can say the stupid thing, and I want to summon the exalted character so that I can go kick some of the princes.
Michael, is there anything you want to do?
Nothing in particular comes to mind.
Okay. So you guys are going to be you guys have the night to relax. Nevin, you are able to visit your safe house, no problem.
It's like a bunker in the woods somewhere nearby.
Okay. Yep, that's not a problem.
And Nathan's probably here also.
Yes, he is there.
Oh, if Nathan had not been there, there would be another Sisker dog called. Because he would have abandoned his duty.
And we're going to have to let him know about what happened to the spirits. And
That's
to let his
good idea.
benefactor know about the Ebon Prince. That'll ring some alarm bells for him.
He would listen to you guys as you talk about what happened. And yes, he would volunteer to take the info back to the right parties to see what he could find out for you all. He does say it could take like a day or two, though, to get the information back.
That's fine.
So, yes, Nathan will head off. And you guys have the rest of the night off right now. So if there's nothing else anyone wants to do, we will cut to morning.
Sounds good to me.
I have a sanitarium I want to purchase.
What's your resources?
None.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Because no one else wants to own that land from all the stuff that's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
But my cult can get it.
It is distinctly possible they could.
With 3 dots in cult.
I have 3 dots in resources.
They could see about trying to get the land together if no one wants it. So we go to morning. And Michael, your phone begins to ring.
Michael will answer. I just had to bring up the Marten phone.
Lars and Sangata wants you to freeze.
Michael doesn't pick up the phone.
Lars, why did you redeem that?
Okay, I deleted it, so. You ready? Yeah. Okay, I'm going.
It's funny.
I'm just confused on how that's supposed to do anything on this.
I wanted it to be like, you pick up the phone and it's like, freeze.
Most of these cards do not have any actual bearing on the tabletop streams.
I know, but it was funny.
It's called a joke, Zen. He's not actually expecting you to not pick up the phone.
I didn't get the joke. I didn't find it that funny myself.
You can't influence games you're in.
I mean, with cards that I designed specifically for the, well, no, you still can't influence your own games, but I am thinking of designing cards specifically for our tabletop games. However, those will be their own collection, which to get those, I need to get to partner, because I have the maximum number of collections that I can right now.
I thought I saved the trick game, but I stopped.
It could just be something.
But, anyways.
Because we're on the same.
We have 2 community rerolls. So yeah, Michael is answering his phone.
How did the raid go last night? It is Winter Sun on the phone.
Ah! Right. Well, you see... Actually, yeah, that just plays instead. And he hangs up. Not really.
Hello?
So this thing calling itself the Ebon Prince has shown up and kind of killed everything.
Killed Hakaken. You'll want to mention that.
It what?
It killed Hakaken.
It killed Hakaken.
What was he with? Was he with a pack? Did he have others with him?
No. This creature seems to be extremely powerful. When I say it killed everyone, I mean it killed everyone. Except for the patients, the ghosts of the patients. Those were spared. Otherwise, the doctors, nurses, etc., and all of the black spirals except for one that ran away, as well as all of the Pentex soldiers, all of them are dead.
Oh wait, there you were. You see me? Yep. Oh, I see you.
In the span of
How do you add me to your...
couple of minutes, tops.
Yeah, it took like a minute and a half for all this to happen. I'm sorry, what?
I do not know how to be more clear about that.
Yeah. Let's share the water.
No, it's just... Hakaken was an Incarna. Even with the weakening that you likely did, it would have taken like a whole pack to even have a chance to slow it down. Honestly, I was expecting Perry to try to banish it again. Not for you guys to actually like kill it.
Oh, we didn't kill it. This thing did. It filleted the thing.
And you're saying you did this in like a minute?
Roughly. As well as everything else.
I believe it's infinite.
I guess I haven't turned on the news. I didn't hear about like any explosions or any craters showing up.
No, it fought them hand to hand. Well, it used chains, but you know.
Do you just want to learn the cloth things then?
I have to say, it was done in quite a bit of style and very fancily. So it took the time to make sure that every death was artistic.
Yeah, I already got metal.
I promise you a very artistic death.
A most beautiful death. Death should never be quick. It should be an opera.
Joke.
And you should also let Wintersun know about the warning it gave us.
Which warning?
about the Smiling Lord. Marten want egg. Why can Marten not have egg?
Egg!
I want egg.
We have to be level 15 for the great rates.
I missed what I missed about the warning.
I walked over just to check.
That the Smiling Lord has his eyes on Lupin, wants him.
Okay, Michael will relay that as well.
I'll talk to some of my fellows, see what we can find out about this Smiling Lord. We won't let him take the loop, I can promise you that. That came out of nowhere, sorry about that.
I actually probably should give a few calls to a couple others about this thing.
I just... Is this thing on our side?
Ah, so you think darkness is your ally?
It seemed to be more of a, it wants us to, it left us alive, or at least that's what it seemed like the reason, is just so that we can tell the tale, as it were.
I see. I'll see what I can try to find out about this, whatever this thing is that can take on an Incarna. Is there anything else, anything you need right now?
Nothing really comes to mind.
Storage box and
Alright. You guys get some rest for the next day or two. You've done a great victory for Gaia. So get some rest, recover. We'll see what we can find out, and we'll let you know once we have some answers too. And he will hang up. And it will be your turn to make your phone calls.
He's going to call Gentleman Marcone first. And
yes?
then
Oh boy.
Sir, what's his face?
Sir, what's his face?
At the club. You know, his contacts.
Yes, yes.
So, starting with Gentleman Marconi, he's going to basically relay everything again. So,
And you're sure this...
We encountered this being.
And you are sure the being that they were attempting to summon is this powerful?
As certain as I can be, yes.
I will try to put out inquiries and see what I can find out. Is there anything that you require from me?
No, just sharing information as I said I would.
Thank you. If I find out anything, I will let you know. I will start to put feelers out to see what I can find out about this being.
Thank you much. Now I have other calls to make, but I wish you luck and do be safe.
Of course. Thank you for the information. I will remember it. And he will hang up as well.
Does Nevin have any calls to make?
I mean, not really. I can't really contact some my former army associates because I don't have that kind of sway in the Rangers anymore, at least.
Who else do you want to call?
Just,
Sir Alric?
yes. And again, relaying everything, letting him know
Ebon
basically
Prince.
there's a new player on the field. 2 of them, it sounds like.
Tremble, mortals, and despair. Doom has come to this world.
Marconi would know who the Ebon Prince is.
Sir Alric is going to be
Mm-hmm.
Sir Alric is listening here to all of this. And you can get like the feeling like everything is just kind of darkening.
You mean by everything?
Like he's just listening to like everything you're saying, and like you can just feel like an oppressiveness like pushing down on you through the phone.
The lights in the room are dimming.
That's what it feels like.
You okay there, Alric?
You need to be very, very careful when you're dealing with the prince.
That was the plan.
And you would also say that he said that we have a favor from him.
He is extremely dangerous and one of the most powerful beings that walks this world. I thought he was gone long ago. He is utterly obsessed with death. And he considers it his duty to manage the living and the dead.
Well, believe me, I have full intentions of taking it very careful with this one.
If you can, try to avoid him, if possible, if he allows you to. Otherwise, be on your guard and attempt to always keep his attention on something else. As for the rest, you've done a great service dealing with a Kaken that does a great blow against the worm. The others will begin showing up in time, but for now, the fact that one of their own was so swiftly dealt with will be enough to give them pause on their current doings and put them in a more defensive stance than they have been in a very long time.
Well, that's at least a point in our favor, I believe. Perhaps they will believe it was us that did it. Though I doubt that.
No, definitely not.
I
Spirits
still
talk.
feel like I still feel robbed.
He'll likely show his face again. And next time he might not be so accommodating. So you do need to be on your guard. What are your plans right now?
Rest, recover, and probably go after Pentex again at some point soon.
Okay, I thought you were going to say rest, relax, and then go after Loop after a little bit.
I'll see if I can find out any information for you for an attack on Pentex to help you out.
That would be appreciated.
I was, but
He'll nod slightly,
teleported me over to your body.
even though you can't see it.
Yep, I was running over to try to save your stuff.
I just know it because the lights flicker a little bit and, you know. The lights kind of dim and then go back up.
Is there anything else you might need from me? Anything I can do to help?
I mean, I'm gonna be entirely honest here. We are a little bit out of our depth right now, so I have no idea where to even begin asking for other assistance.
Alright. I'll see what I can do to try to help out.
Thank you.
Get you on the path, so to speak. For now, enjoy a couple of days off. Take some time to rest. And we'll figure out where to go from here.
Sounds like a plan.
Much appreciated.
You're not there!
Well, you know.
You specifically left! So you can't even be over, you know, eavesdropping on the conversation or anything.
I mean, I guess.
I have a kitty.
I have a kidney.
I have a kitty.
Meow.
So, you guys have a couple of days off to rest, relax. So, what do you guys want to spend your couple of days doing?
We got a few days. I'm eventually just going to go back to the park.
Sure, Red Raven. Let's go with that.
Michael will probably be spending that time, kind of resting. He'll probably, I don't know what day of the week it is.
Wednesday.
But, okay, so then he'd still be going to work each day.
It's close by, but not quite at me.
You know, he's got to keep up appearances.
There should be a button at the top that should.
Your office is still kind of closed down at the moment. You know, from the massacre that took place there a couple of days ago.
Ah, right. Forgot that happened.
Yep, you're good to work from home for right now.
Okay, well then he works from home.
Stay on the rock.
All right. Perry, what are you up to over these couple of days?
getting the sanatorium.
All right, let's see.
And then going to be working with Nathan to make sure that the rest of the spirits are freed and taken care of.
Hey, Perry, make a presence plus politics, and you get to add a +3 to this roll. And you do not take the unskilled penalty if you don't have it.
Okay. And do I add anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, you get to add 3 dice to it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Your cult is able to acquire for you the land that the sanatorium sits on. It was a bit of a close thing, but they're able to talk the people into it.
And time to get Nathan and Nate in there to clean out the rest of the spirits and make sure they go to where they're supposed to go.
When you go to investigate the site, there are no ghosts at all.
Yeah, I mean, after what happened, I wouldn't be surprised if they all just bailed out.
Normally, a ghost cannot leave the site that they're stuck in. Yet, you cannot see any sign of any ghosts here. At all.
Okay. I'll be spending my time cleaning this place up to get it ready for Gaia.
Mm-hmm. That's probably maybe a couple of days of work for you and your cult to do. All right. Barney, what are you up to?
Just waiting around the the main park area. Just doing my little vigil there, waiting for some sort of lead on where to hit Pentex next.
Okay. In the distance, Barney, you can see a flying sword fly towards you. Please use me! Use me! I will fight for you! Oh wait,
What the
wrong
fuck?
game.
Barney becomes racist towards flying swords.
God damn it, why is it happening again?
We still have phones, right?
Yes.
So I could pick up some things. Anyone need anything like weapons or?
Yeah, I'll take another tank.
That, I'm afraid, I do not have.
You, Barney, give me a wits plus wits plus investigation roll for me.
Wits plus investigation. All right. Wits is 2. Investigation is 1. Same as before. Two successes.
Let's see. With that roll, you are able to see you are being watched.
Okay.
Specifically, you can see someone watching you from the window of one of the buildings that is very, very close to the lake. You're not sure whose building that is. You know that most of these buildings are open to anyone to go into, but you can just feel this stare just watching you. And from the window, you can see it is it looks to be a guru or a werewolf in their guru form.
Okay.
But you would need to investigate to find out more.
I walk over.
It looks like it's the second floor of this cabin. You have a pretty good guess when you go inside. It looks like it's a meal hall. You can see a staircase up to the second floor. And with that roll, you have a pretty good idea which room it is that has the person that was watching you.
I go up to it.
On the door, you can see the words etched on a little wooden plaque saying, "Keep out, private, no one allowed."
He knocks.
What do you want?
Could I ask you the same thing?
Oh, wait, what are you doing here?
Asking you the same thing.
I wasn't watching or staring at you. I don't know what you're bothering me for.
I am the one who knocks.
I can see you staring from a mile away. What do you want?
I wasn't staring. I was just looking out the window. Was it? Yeah, that's all.
At me. Only
What?
me.
I mean,
We made eye contact.
I was looking at the fish that was past you. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was looking at the fish that was behind you. There was a fish in the water.
Okay, well, if you don't want anything from me, then I guess I'll just go.
Wait, no, don't. You don't. I mean, well, well.
Turns around, crosses his arms, raises his brow.
You hear the sound of like a bang, step, bang, step, bang, step, bang, step. And you hear click on the door before it opens, and you see a guru looking at you. He is a bit smaller than your form would be, and he is on crutches. His right leg is very withered and tiny compared to the rest of his body.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you, well...
You, like, do you, are you an...
Have you ever had a dream?
Angel? Or, no, wait. Did it hurt when you fell? Cause, yeah, you're an angel. Oh God. Sorry, Kirk.
No, you're good. Sorry, I don't really talk with anyone much.
What do you need?
I just... You're kind of a big deal around here, okay? I just really interested. Alright? That's all. Like,
Interested?
you got...
Like in what?
You're the... He kind of throws up one of his hands a little bit when he's leaning against his crutches. You guys are like awesome doing all those things, and I mean the stories are going around now that you guys took out one of the Urgeworms Incarna, one of their chosen. It's like it's the talk right now. Everyone's talking about it.
You want an autograph?
No, I mean, well, maybe, but no. I just was curious about the big heroes. Like, you guys are able to go out there and actually fight and do things. And, well, I've just, well, I don't really leave here. He kind of waves a hand to his leg and then to himself. I'm kind of persona non grata around here.
How old are you?
22.
22. Still plenty of time.
I should have gone through it when I was 13 or 14.
What I recommend you do is you find something that you can actually do. Find something you're good at. Focus on that and train it. I think a rifle would suit you well.
I can't.
Why not?
Not with my leg like this.
Did you not just hear what I said?
They won't let me.
What do you mean they won't let you?
I'm forbidden. I'm a burden. I'm not allowed to go out on hunts. I'm not allowed to go out because I'm a walking breaking of the litany. I'm stuck like this, and
So they
He's a
just
man.
keep you inside all day.
He's a Matisse.
Please make some Ricardo.
Oh.
yeah,
Matisse.
his leg is his deformity. He can't walk without his crutches. Even then, he can't move very quickly.
There's a Matisse. That means that was 2 werewolves got together.
2 werewolves got together and had a baby werewolf, and the baby werewolf is born in their werewolf form, and they cannot change out of it until the first change came out. As he said, he's 22 years old. He has not gone through the first change, which technically shouldn't happen, and yet for some reason it seems to have affected him. No one can explain how it seems. Even he doesn't seem to know. And he does not have a working leg. His right leg is utterly useless. I want to help. I mean, I'd kill to help. But no one will let me go. I'm not even really allowed out of here because people could see me. The only person who really comes around a lot to check on me and make sure I'm okay and talk to me about stuff is Winter Sun. And even then, he can't come very often just because he's so busy running things and helping everyone else too. So I'm just left behind. So yeah. I just wanted to see the big hero of the hour. Because you guys went and did like the impossible.
Okay, so we are obtaining a new pet.
Are you any good at computers?
What's the computer?
You never gotten to use a computer before?
No.
You stay here locked up all day and they don't even let you use a fucking computer?
I have books.
They give you books.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is this, the 1920s?
Стиральная машинка, успокойся.
Sometimes Winter Sun will bring someone's dog or cat to see me, and they let me throw the ball.
До тебя. Задолго до тебя.
Who are your parents?
They're both dead.
Who's your caretaker?
Это просто машинка стиральная.
Winter Sun when he can, but he's just been so busy lately since things kind of picked up about a year ago.
I'll talk to Winterson and see if there's not something that you can do.
I mean, I don't want to cause trouble. Most of everyone else doesn't really tolerate me. They think I'm just a drain on resources and causing problems.
Well, if you figure out some way to start pulling your weight, more people probably say that less. Either way, it's probably best that everyone has a chance to pull their weight. Can't imagine what it'd be like sitting around doing nothing, never having to fight for anything. I don't imagine it feels good.
No, it doesn't.
And if Micah were there, this kid would be getting adopted and trained in something.
He's 22 years old, so he's just been kind of.
Oh, he's still a baby.
This is like how Luna got adopted.
Almost all Matisse have very, very poor social skills, simply because they aren't allowed to socialize with basically anyone.
Yeah, I don't socialize, and I have great social skills.
This would be the perfect time for him to meet another Matisse.
Yes. What are you going to go do, Barney?
I'm gonna go find Winter Sun.
Okay. It looks
Or
like
you-
Winter Sun.
Or you
Looks
could
like.
just call
Oh,
him.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go talk to him face to face. More presence that way.
Don't you mean
He.
Summer Moon?
No.
I mean, we've been changing all of the other NPCs' names, so...
Winter Sun's a big one. He's one of the names I can remember pretty easily. Winter Sun is in his office, and you are allowed in to speak to him. You are kind of like the hero of the hour. Barney, what can I do for you?
I had a question about something. Something about, with the pack and everything.
He kind of pauses, sets his paperwork to the side, leans forward, and nods.
So these Matisse kids that we had in the pack that, are still around. What are we having them do for the pack?
It depends on who they are and how old they are. Most of them are children, so we do not let them go out. We try to socialize them as much as we can here, but until they go through the first change, they can't leave.
Okay. I just spoke to a 22-year-old who hadn't changed.
No, Pa.
That's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw him up in his room. He was kind of watching me. I just had to go up and talk to him. And, he voiced some things here and there. Nothing of his own. It's more just he wants to help. He wants to help out in some way, shape, or form. I understand his situation.
He
But
nods.
I figured I'd still see what we can do to look at options for him.
It's difficult because normally with someone like him, I would likely try to task him with the Glasswalkers, as they are the most suitable with technology. It's very likely they could make something to help him with his deformity, with his leg. However, they will not even look at him because of his parenthood. His parents were high-ranking members of the Glasswalkers here in Empty Springs. When he was born, it was, well... let me tell you, it was a clusterfuck.
Alright.
The Glasswalkers won't have anything to do with him. Even though they accept a lot of Matisse from other tribes, when it comes to their own, they can have their pride.
I have an out-of-character question.
Yes.
Do werewolf duels exist?
Yes, they do.
I'm going to fucking call down a werewolf duel on these bitches.
Usually it would be called during a moot, is when these types of things would be done. Because that's when everyone is gathered up together.
Correct.
Usually. Keyword there. Usually.
Yes. It would need to be something severe for them to call something outside of that.
I consider this severe. Also, for the record, we are technically half an hour into the Exalted time.
Mm-mm. Oh crap! I am so sorry. For some reason, I thought we started at 10 for Exalted. All right, let's get to a good ending place here, and we'll get moved over. Continue, Moriarty.
Well, I'm basically gonna say, hey, if they have a problem with the kid's honor or something, I'll fight on his behalf. I will fight them for this. I will fight them.
It's more the issue here of they aren't willing to look at him due to his parentage. He's considered a
Right, and I will fight them.
I'll see what I can do to set something like this up. The other issue is he can't really fight at the moment.
I know that. And I kind of figured it out. If the kid can walk, he can start learning to fight. He needs to be given a chance. If they ain't even giving him a chance, they ain't good enough. Give the kid a chance. Then maybe, you know, maybe there'll be some proper words to be had about it. But they ain't giving the kid a chance. They ain't right.
I'll see what I can do to talk to. I know a few of the glasswalkers. I can get something set up. I can probably get within the next couple of hours for you guys.
Next couple hours, all right.
He just smiles. Believe me, you guys have a lot of pull right now with what you did.
Well, it kind of feels good being recognized.
I'll see what I can set up, and we can see what we can do for him.
I appreciate it. So you let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Oh,
I've tried to do what I try to do what I can for him, but I try to take care of everyone here, so it's difficult to give everyone the time that they deserve.
Yeah. Maybe this will set an example. So a few less people will need someone.
All right, I'll make the phone calls. You go relax for a little bit. Do whatever you want. I'll call you once I have things set up here.
Oh, I'll be outside. Just poke your head out.
All right. And with that, I think that is actually a good place to end the session.
And I have to say, even though I'm not here, this character, No Paw, would be a perfect bone shadow. Because if you're in the Umbral realm, you don't need to use your actual body. You just move your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Very good, very good.
Yes, what you guys think of today's session as we get ready to move over to Exalted?
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason I thought we started at 10, not 9. I don't know why I thought that.
I think Barney got hit the hardest, though.
Yeah. Barney's low-key depressed.
All his military guys are dead. He wasn't able to get in exact revenge.
He did not get vengeance in his eyes now.
Why do you think
there's literally no satisfaction for Barney.
Well, why do you think I gave this to Barney here? I wanted to give him something something to try to rebuild himself with. Yeah, no. If you had ignored this kid or kind of blown him off, bad things would have happened.
What do you mean bad things would have happened?
He would eventually be corrupted into a black spiral dancer and be coming after Barney as your personal nemesis.
I looked at you out a window once and you did nothing.
Oh, no. This is if you had talked to him and then just kind of blown him off a little bit or gone to do something else.
The way it was going before you know he was a Matisse.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
As we say in the Iron Masters, survive, adapt, overcome.
I
do
mean,
something like that.
even before I kind of put 2 and 2 together that he was a Matisse, I was still trying to help him. Just be like, hey, you can do stuff.
Also, it wouldn't have been your fault too. What would have happened too was he would have been corrupted by another black spiral using his already the anger and such that he has towards what was done to him, and that would have just been basically used to turn him.
Gotcha.
A lot of Matisse end up falling to the black spirals because of that. One of the rules of the Black Spiral's Dark Litany is they must offer every werewolf that they face the chance to join them and to dance the spiral. And they are very good at exploiting people's flaws and angers and rages and such.
And if you really wanted to play the tricky game, you accept it, you go to their pit, then you run away and let your group know where the pit is.
Good luck trying to get out of there alive. But yes, no, I'm very curious to see how you guys are gonna deal with the prince as well. I am very curious to see how you guys are gonna deal with the prince coming up, because he's going to be tough.
All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us so far on the stream today. That was Howls of the Deathsinger, Werewolf, World of Darkness, etc. Check out our website, cgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It is one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, as well as grabbing some of the card packs over at Streamloots, or some of our merchandise at zgfgaming.store. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
I can't wait for you guys to see what happens in Exalted. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I will be right back.